let's take a look at how the grid lines up. The cars are already about to set off on their formation lap here. So quickly, let's run down the starting order. It's South Africa and France on the front row. The second row, Mexico and Switzerland, both potential race winners, I would say. And then we've got the Netherlands starting on the third row, the host nation, with Germany alongside. Ireland and New Zealand together on the fourth row. On the fifth row, we've got Portugal and Great Britain. Then it's India and Brazil, followed by Italy and the Czech Republic. China and Pakistan are next, ahead of Australia and Lebanon, USA and Malaysia, Canada and Indonesia. The cars heading round on the lap, and we're almost ready to go racing. They begin to pick up the pace out of the final corner. Now they need to be in good formation to be given the start signal. It's a bit messy. Are they released? I think they are. Green flag flies. It's France making a good start. Oh, Mexico trying to squeeze down the inside, and look, a lock up there from Switzerland on the outside. But Adrian Zhao for South Africa leads through the first corner.
Well, that was very close indeed, because you could see that Mexico dived down the inside. Look at Holland takes a place away from Switzerland, so up to fourth place for the Netherlands.
The Netherlands, Jeroen Bleekemolen, he'll get a big cheer here at Zandvoort for that, and he's gained a position on the run through the first couple of corners. Germany got away well. Italy trying to make up places, trying to squeeze past Portugal and Indonesia towards the back, solving their problems that they had on the grid. So they're running, and the Netherlands trying another move on Mexico.
Well, if you're going to get it done, I said the first lap was the best lap that Jeroen Bleekemolen had to make up positions. He did it. He's not. I was just defending. He was defending that fourth place.
That's right. Yes, I thought so for a moment as well, but he dropped a bit of time, and he had to then defend from Switzerland. Switzerland follows the Netherlands. Then it's Germany and Ireland, and the Black Beauty of New Zealand, I thought for a moment, might be trying to squeeze past Ireland, but he wasn't quite able to do it.
Well, it's all a bit frantic in this opening lap, but it's clear that South Africa have taken advantage of that pole position with France behind, but the battle going on for third and fourth place as we watch diving China dives down the inside, and Czech Republic side by side in turn 9.
Oh, this is good stuff. Frankie Chen for China on the outside, but here comes the new boy, Chris Alajajian for the Lebanon, and he managed to get past both of them.
That was very good driving, good thinking from the Lebanese driver to do so. He saw those two cars battle, he knew they would hold up each other, and he took advantage and got the run and got the two positions.
Well, it's a good debut for Chris Alajajian for Lebanon, and look at them all moving around trying to gain position. He's now under attack again from the Czech car, Eric Yanis for the Czech Republic, but he can't do it. And here comes Alex Young now for Malaysia, and trying to go around the outside.
Adam Khan for Pakistan also getting involved in that three-way mix. Adam Khan right out against the pit lane barrier.
So Lebanon has got up to 14th place, having started 18th. So good game. Slide there from Portugal. Brazil in the background also a little bit of trouble. It's South Africa leading, France second, Mexico third, the Netherlands in fourth, Switzerland running in fifth place. Then it's Germany, Ireland, New Zealand in eighth, Great Britain in ninth, and India in 10th position.
Well, there's the top six. You can see nobody's made a move except for the Netherlands and Switzerland, where the big ones of that, they're down from fourth to fifth, the Netherlands up to fourth place.
Oliver Jarvis for Team GBR, Great Britain running in ninth place currently, and well, just trying to see if he can pick up the places a little bit over the next few laps. This is a replay of the start.
That was a wild start. I mean, I would have expected the cars to be held much more bunched as they came down out of turn 11, but that's the way they went, and they let them go. But look, you can see on the replay how wide it was. Mexico trying to dive down the inside, and then with Switzerland running high, and
yeah, that was a chance for the Netherlands,
it was really very close. There we are, on board with the Netherlands. Yeah,
let's see how it worked for him. There was a wide line from Yanni for Switzerland, and that was good from Jeroen Bleekemolen. He tucked it up the inside, and basically then Switzerland still had the edge, but of course Netherlands was on the inside for the right-hand kick.
Yeah, and turning right, you've got no option. The car on the inside's got the racetrack. Car on the outside, who wants to take the corner, will take himself and the other car out.
South Africa beginning to ease away up front, 1.8 seconds ahead, and Netherlands now has caught back up towards Mexico once again. Remember, all these guys are still getting used to a dry track for the first time this weekend. Wet throughout practice, wet throughout qualifying, and now they've got to get used to driving on slicks for the first time this year. Last year they might have had some running, but there, Chris Alajajian, for example, in the Lebanese car, well, first time he's driven the place in the dry at all. He's never been here before.
Well, it's the most competitive we've seen Lebanon since the days of Graham Rahal in that car. Look at those big clouds just at the back of the dunes. Here it's much better sky, but just keep an eye. The weather may still have a factor here. Down in the inside, into turn 1000, a good pass. And that's on China, Alex Young and Frankie Cheng, but Cheng's not going to give up.
He did give up. That was the replay of that a moment ago, and Malaysia now in 16th position as a result of that. They started 20th, Malaysia, so he's gained a few places in the opening laps. Remember, this is the sprint race. It's relatively short, but you still get now the same number of points for this as you will for the longer feature race. 15 points going to the winner of this race, so it's crucial to make up as many places as possible. On the pit wall, Jan Lammers watching to see whether Jeroen Bleekemolen's going to be able to attack Mexico for a podium finish here, and he's definitely in the slipstream as they head down the straight, down towards Tarzan. He's going to go for the inside. Here comes the Netherlands, late braking. Now can he hold it? Yes, what a great move by Jeroen Bleekemolen.
Absolutely fantastic. Perfect position coming into the corner, and Mexico didn't try to block that move. They thought they had enough power, enough speed down to that corner, but they didn't they underestimated what Bleekemolen and his knowledge is worth, and that was what local knowledge is worth. He knew he could go very, very deep. Once he got there, then he had control of the corner, and Mexico was very much the consequence of that. Look, down the inside, here's the head-on view, and Mexico tried to come down, but nowhere to go. A little whiff of smoke from the tower from the Netherlands car, but a superb pass, excellently executed.
Yeah, that was lovely. South Africa, though, look, John, and what a lead. 2.5 seconds for Adrian Zaug already, steaming away into the distance. There's France in second now. France could be under threat here from the Netherlands, who have got past Mexico. Switzerland still running fifth. Germany, then Ireland. New Zealand has gained a place. New Zealand ahead. No, sorry, they were already ahead of Great Britain. It's Jarvis who's beginning to pressurise.
But New Zealand did get ahead of Great Britain. We didn't see it, but somewhere around the circuit that did happen. There's again defence from New Zealand as Oliver Jarvis tries to get alongside into turn 9, and he's going to take the position back again. Both have given each other working room on the exit of 9. Easy to run the other car wide, and a good pass by Oliver Jarvis, undoing what was done to him from 1 or 2 earlier.
Well, good racing, as you say, between these two. They've got a lot of respect for one another, but they had to fight for every inch of the road there. Team GBR then back into 8th place. Netherlands now running in 3rd position, as we know, chasing France, and that's how close the battle for 2nd is. Look at it through Tarzan.
And the Netherlands were on the power boost coming down the straight, trying to use that extra 30 horsepower to give themselves the same kind of slingshot that they did with the Mexico team 1 lap ago.
There's no doubt the Dutch car looks fantastic in the dry, and the French car just moving around a bit. Loic Duval checking his mirrors, wanting to see where that orange car is, because he knows he's under threat for 2nd place here. The Netherlands looking racy, and here comes Jeroen Bleekemolen through one of the faster sections.
Yeah, into turn 5, that's a 250 km/h approach. As you get to the top of the hill, then the road just falls away and turns to the right. Bleekemolen tried to make a move there in the opening lap, couldn't get it done, but the French car, Loic Duval, too wary, too wise to allow that to happen. But again, trying to get the French car out of position, diving one way, then the other way, trying to control the French car, make Duval look at his mirror, see what Bleekemolen is doing, and consequently try to control him.
Well, let's see whether Bleekemolen's going to be able to do something as they build up towards the main straight. Again, still got to get through the S's here. Very tight and twisty. You need good traction, and France just managed to edge away a little bit into that corner, and it's through the next couple of bends that it's crucial that Bleekemolen tacks up behind the French car and then uses the slipstream. I'm not sure he's going to be close enough this time.
No, he's not. Again, he will wait to see whether he gets onto the main straight, if they're going to go with power boost or not.
He's used
them all. They're all gone.
Yeah, he's used all his power boosters, Netherlands. He's used them well, but it means that overtaking is going to be that much more difficult now for Team Netherlands to try and take that 2nd place away from France. Further back, we've still got Mexico 4th, Switzerland in 5th place, and then behind them Germany, Ireland, Great Britain, New Zealand and India completing the top 10, and points all the way down to 10th in the sprint race.
In the meantime, Adrian Zaug in South Africa, almost 5 seconds. There you can see, there's South Africa, there is France, and that is, well, 4.7 as they came across the line, rounded up to 5 seconds, and that's the advantage that South Africa has got. Ireland in 7th place. They've consolidated their starting position, so a top 10 finish for Ireland for goodness knows how long.
Yeah, no, that would be great news for them. And Ireland, India, rather, in the points as well. They're in 10th position. Australia started from the pit lane, still at the back at the moment. But look, great little gaggle of cars here. Ian Dyke trying to get past Buddy Rice for Team USA. And just ahead of them, Canada trying to get past Indonesia. Hinchcliffe much quicker, potentially, than Indonesia. He's going to get alongside there. Good chance here for Canada. Couldn't quite complete it there.
Well, that was good defence of the corner by Indonesia. But, of course, it puts the Canadian cars slightly out of position. We've got Buddy Rice for USA. You've got Ian Dyke for Australia. And each driver sort of moving around, trying to position himself to gain advantage. In doing so, he's opening up another opportunity for a car that's following.
Well, this is good fun racing. It's towards the back of the field, but nevertheless, it's very, very close. New driver Satrio Humanto for Team Indonesia. Hinchcliffe in the Canadian car, a lot more red on that car this year. And then we've got the others behind. We've got Buddy Rice here. We're riding on board with him for Team USA. And then tucked in behind him is Team Australia's Ian Dyke. And they're all heading up towards the sweeping right-hander and the long straight. And that's where Canada could be in position here. John might be close enough perhaps to attack.
Well, that's a possibility. Whether he's got any power boost remaining. Look, he's getting into the slipstream. Indonesia's going from left to right to defend the corner. Canada's going to swoop out. There he goes. Can he get the wrong way round? Indonesia late in the brakes, but watch for Canada trying to come down and get underneath on the exit of Tarzan corner. Can't get it done.
I'm impressed with Amanto, first ever race in an A1GP car. He's as brave as anybody on the brakes down there because Hinchcliffe is pretty determined. So that was impressive from Team Indonesia's new driver. And meanwhile, frustrated at the back of the group is Ian Dyke for Team Australia. Meanwhile, also South Africa still leading by that big margin over 5 seconds. It's France and the Netherlands battling for second place ahead of Mexico and Switzerland. Then Germany, Ireland, Great Britain and New Zealand. And we reckon there's around 6 laps to go in this race. It's a 19-minute plus a lap race, and it looks as though we've got 6 laps or so to go, about half distance at the moment.
Yes, 8 minutes and 40 seconds of the race remaining in terms of time then plus a lap, or 6 laps to go, whichever is going to come the sooner. And I suspect it's going to be the 6 laps are going to see the checkered flag come out.
Zaug across the line. He's certainly driven beautifully from pole position, hasn't he? He's had the fastest lap in the race. That's worth an extra point. Then it's second place France, third for the Netherlands, chased by Mexico and Switzerland, then Germany, Ireland and Great Britain, all sort of concertinaing up together a little bit. There could be some changes here before the end.
Second place through to 7th place. They're all running in the 1 minute 30.5, so almost doing identical lap times. It's only Adrian Zaug who was running in the 28s, then the 29s, who's now backed off to the low 30s, who's controlling this race.
I'll tell you what, Team GBR actually had the fastest lap of that last lap, a 30.0, quicker even than Zaug, who is leading. It's not the fastest lap overall. No. Zaug set that earlier on.
No, but of course he's now finding himself in the heart of this battle. He's running behind Ireland. Ireland's lap was 30.5, half a second quicker was this man we're on board with, Oliver Jarvis. He will then drop back to the speed of the Team Ireland car. He had the benefit of the run up to it, unless he can continue that momentum and sweep past.
Oh,
he's having a look down the inside. No, is he going to squeeze? He has! He squeezed by, but that looked too easy for me.
Well, Ralph Furman there for Team Ireland being very cautious. I think he could perhaps have shut the door, but he saw the Great Britain car nosing alongside, and Oliver Jarvis didn't need any second invitation.
No, he actually opened the door, he forced it open, but that's all about momentum. He carried that momentum with that extra half-second lap time he had over Ireland, and instead of waiting for the gap to open up, he made the gap open up. That's the difference. You make it happen rather than wait for it to be invited to step into it. And Ireland immediately have dropped back by well over a second. Whether Ralph Furman is struggling a little bit with setup, but certainly Oliver Jarvis is on the march up to 7th place, and he is 1.8 seconds behind, getting into 6th place, and Christian Vatours is his next victim.
We gather there may be a problem with the Ireland car. This was that manoeuvre, John, the overtaking pass.
Yeah, I think Ralph Furman saw that Oliver Jarvis was about to dive down the inside. He gave him room, and in doing so, he then opened up the door for Jarvis to drive straight through. But maybe, as we mentioned, Ireland might have something that is enabling them. They can't defend their position as strongly as they would like.
And there, Tony Clements, big fist in the air for Tony, the seat holder for Team GBR, as he saw Jarvis gain that place. Now, what's happening here? We've still got Adrian Zaug leading comfortably for South Africa at the moment. The gap's still some 5.4 seconds back to Team France, and then the Netherlands and Mexico chasing on behind. I wonder if Great Britain's now going to be able to go on the attack of Germany. That would be next on their list. Germany currently running 6th. Great Britain now into 7th place, having got past Ireland. Let's look back at that next group, headed by France, Netherlands, Mexico, Switzerland, Germany, and there's the gap back to Great Britain.
So we're in a situation where the gap between Germany and Great Britain on this lap is not a great deal different to how it is with Ireland and Great Britain. So whether the momentum that we've seen from Great Britain can sweep them up to the tail of Germany, I suspect it's going to be a harder job to get past Christian Vatours, because if there is a problem for Ireland, that might have been why Ralph Furman was so generous to Oliver Jarvis.
Just outside the points is Portugal and João Urbano, ahead of Italy and Brazil. The 3 cars running pretty close together. Let me tell you that Canada did get past Indonesia on the last lap after racing hard towards the back. Canada now up to 19th position, by the way, as Italy goes on the attack of Team Portugal. Enrico Toccochella moves out of the slipstream to the outside. Is he going to go around the outside? It is possible here at Zandvoort, but Portugal's fending him off and he can't do it.
And I mean, Portugal did the right thing. They just let the car run up the racetrack. Adam Kahn now coming up behind. It's Brazil. So Brazil trying to get into the action as well and seeing what was going to happen. He read the situation pretty well. He knew that Italy was going to struggle to get around the outside.
USA trying to get past Indonesia here. We saw that Canada had got past a lap or so ago, and now Buddy Rice trying to do likewise as they head down towards the second part of the lap into the hook and hold hairpin, and Australia tucked in there as well.
So all very frenetic all around the racetrack. Adrian Zog, the man who's dominated this race, 5.5 second advantage. He's been, I suspect, told by the team, just hold station, don't go any harder, you don't need to do any more. But look at back, this is looking back towards Team GBR from the Germany car.
Look how close he is now. He certainly has closed up that gap, has Oliver Jarvis. New colours on the British car. The blue and red much more distinct on the car, and you certainly see it filling the camera mounted on the back of the German car.
Now wait and see what happens when they come out of turn 11. That's going to be the critical corner, because that's where the advantage will lie initially to Germany. But if Great Britain can get into the slipstream, not close enough at this part of the straight. As you look at the battle that goes on at the very front, pressure coming from the Netherlands and France, and equally pressure coming on Germany from Great Britain.
There could still be some changes here, there's no doubt about it. It is tight in this group, and there France, Netherlands and Mexico and Switzerland. Anybody makes a mistake there and it could all change. Just a couple of laps to go, and France's Loic Duval trying to hold on to second place. Neil Yarni at the back of that group, one of the most experienced A1GP competitors and a winner last year in Malaysia.
And it's the pace of France that really is controlling this battle directly behind. They're all now running in the 1:31s. They all started in the low 30s, got to the high 30s, now they're in 1:31.
Lebanon trying to defend from Jet Republic. Another gaggle here with Chris Alajajian ahead of Eric Yanis. And Malaysia's in there, so's China, and Adam Khan for Pakistan's joined in the fun.
I mean, it's frustrating if you're in this pack of cars, because you're always being dictated the pace you can run out by the pace of the car that's ahead of you. And unless you can afford to drop back, and if you're in the middle of the pack, you can forget about that. So you're really being... The pace of Lebanon is determining the pace of these following four cars.
No pit stops in this race to worry about, but in the feature race later, the teams will have an influence on the outcome when they're running this close. Every tenth of a second in a pit stop will make a difference. Meanwhile, Germany and Great Britain still fighting hard for 6th place. Ireland still holding on in 8th place. Ralph Furman with, has he got any power boost? Yeah, he's still got 3
Germany
left.
and Great Britain have got 1 each.
Yeah. So the power boost adding an extra 30 brake horsepower, and if you want to use it, it's got to be around now. New Zealand using their final one. Ireland also on the power boost heading down the main straight in towards Tarzan.
It looks to me like Germany and Great Britain are going to keep that single power boost shot they have for that last lap. But the pace again, Germany able to control the pace, not suffering from the pressure that we saw from Ralph Furman. So whatever Oliver Jarvis does, wherever he places his car, Germany is ignoring it.
The final lap then, and it's going to be victory, a very comfortable win for South Africa. There's no doubt about it. The gap has opened up to 7 seconds, which is remarkable in only in 12 laps. France, of course, have been busy defending, but nonetheless, this has been a fantastic performance by South Africa.
I can tell you now, if Adrian Zog had driven at his race pace for the entire 12 laps, he'll be even further ahead, because once he got that 5.5 second advantage, he was able then to consolidate. France clearly is not able to run at that pace. They're the ones that are dictating 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th positions at the pace of France. So Adrian Zog just drives the car through turn 9, no problems at all. Fastest lap as well, 1:28.353.
Well, it's been a superb performance by Adrian Zog, the 20-year-old, who won here at Zandvoort last year in the sprint race from pole position, and it looks like he's going to do it again, but by such an emphatic margin, one of the biggest margins surely in a sprint race that we've seen. Adrian Zog takes the victory for South Africa. He takes the first win of season 3 of A1GP World Cup of Motorsport. 2nd goes to France, 3rd to the Netherlands. It's a podium for the host nation. Mexico is 4th, Switzerland 5th, Germany 6th, and they're followed by Great Britain, Ireland, New Zealand, and the final point in the top 10 goes to A1 Team India. Celebrations down there for the South African crew. Fantastic performance by Adrian Zog. He really was peerless. Nobody had an answer for him, but the Dutch fans are excited too, because they've got a podium finish in the first event of the new season, and Jeroen Bleekemolen out of the car already, shaking everybody's hand down there. Everybody wants a part of his success, and he's going to make the most of it. He came so close to getting on the podium here last year, and now he's done it. But there's our winner, Adrian Zog. There's no little jig this time like there was after qualifying, because he knows there's still some work to be done here today, but he's wrapped up the maximum points for this race, the 15 points for the win and the point for fastest lap as well. Jeroen Bleekemolen already explaining how they can make the car even faster to Jan Lammers, no doubt, for the feature race later on this afternoon, but he must be well pleased, having started in 5th place, to come home with that podium finish. So the drivers are waiting to come out on the podium. Teams down below, of course, France have got something to celebrate as well, but there he is, Adrian Zaub, big smile for him. 2nd place going to Team France, to Loïc Duval, and 3rd place, of course, to Jeroen Bleekemolen, and he is full of beans about that one. Big smile from the Dutchman. Tremendous reaction from the crowd here, and it's the presentation time now for the medals to be handed over. Bronze medal going to Jeroen Bleekemolen, who has got that podium finish that he came so close to getting here in the first season that A1 visited Zandvoort. Loïc Duval, 2nd place for Team France. Still a major threat, I think, this year. They want to try and take the title again, as they did in the first season. But it's Adrian Zaub who loves this Zandvoort circuit. He won the sprint race here last year, and he's done it again this time.
Joining me now, a very happy Adrian Zaub. What a commanding performance. You've repeated last year's feat, but you did it in such style today. Your car and yourself looked amazingly fast out there.
Yeah, definitely. We prepared a really good car for today and yesterday in the wet conditions, and we show we can be competitive in both conditions, so it's looking good.
In 2nd position was Loïc Duval for Team France. Look, how frustrating was that when you're watching Adrian getting further and further away in front of you?
I mean, the first 2-3 laps we were quite on the same level, and then the car was a bit difficult to drive. We had a more over and over steering, so I couldn't follow him. So, and then the Team Nederland, I mean, they were just behind us. So my strategy was just to keep the 2nd position, which one was not too difficult because I still had some push to pass, and he doesn't. So that's it. But anyway, it's the 2nd place. But we have to work a lot on the car if we want to come back on the podium this afternoon.
Congratulations, Jeroen Bleekemolen, Team Netherlands. What does it feel like to have a podium at your home race?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, yesterday we really messed up the qualifying for the feature race, so I hope that at least I could take the podium in this one, and then you've got this one in the back, and then hopefully the next one we can fight also away back to the front. But I think it looks good because the car was fantastic. We had a quick car, and on the feature race differences will be bigger because the tires go off more, so you can overtake a bit easier, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the sun has come out and there's a celebration going on in the grandstands as the Dutch fans enjoy that 3rd place. Let's run through the results. South Africa winning then from France and the Netherlands. Mexico finished in 4th place ahead of Switzerland. Germany held off Great Britain to the end. Ireland took 8th place ahead of New Zealand, with India finishing in 10th place for the final point. Portugal just outside the points in 11th, Italy in 12th position, and then it's Brazil, Lebanon, the Czech Republic in 15th ahead of Malaysia, with China and Pakistan next, and fastest lap went to South Africa, so they got the perfect score with the pole position, the victory and fastest lap.